Society calls you cold, aloof, a lone wolf destined for loneliness. They're wrong. You're not running from connection. You're crafting a life so potent, so deliberate, that only the rarest souls can match your frequency. Sigma males don't settle. They build empires of self-mastery, and that's why they stay single longer. Welcome to Sigma Male Community, the sanctuary for men who forge their own path, guided by the unshakable principles of stoic wisdom, self-reliance, and relentless growth. Today we're diving deep into the real reasons Sigma males embrace extended singlehood, not as a curse, but as a strategic choice that sets them apart from the masses. This isn't about chasing fleeting validation or conforming to society's frantic relationship timelines. It's about cultivating a life of radical authenticity, unshackled by the noise of expectation. Through vivid stories and hard-hitting truths, we'll uncover why your solitude is your greatest asset, why your standards are non-negotiable, and why the right connection is worth the wait. So lean in, brothers, let's shatter the myths and embrace the power of your deliberate path. 1. Architects of solitude, not prisoners of loneliness. The world paints the Sigma male as a brooding loner, pacing an empty cage of isolation. That's a lie spun by those who fear the power of solitude. The Sigma doesn't stumble into alone time. He designs it with the precision of a master architect. His solitude is a sacred workshop where he hones his mind, sharpens his purpose, and crafts a version of himself that radiates unshakable strength. Picture a blacksmith at his forge, each moment alone a deliberate strike shaping molten potential into a blade of pure resolve. This isn't about hiding from the world, it's about creating a foundation so solid that no external force can sway it. The Sigma knows that true charisma, the kind that draws others without effort, is forged in these quiet hours of reflection and creation. He doesn't need a crowd to feel whole. His inner world is a universe unto itself, vibrant and complete. This intentional solitude is a rebellion against a culture addicted to noise and distraction. While others drown in the chaos of constant social chatter, the Sigma retreats to a mental fortress where clarity reigns supreme. He's not escaping connection, he's preparing for it. Every moment spent refining his thoughts, pursuing his passions, or wrestling with his inner truths adds another layer to his unshakable core. This is the Stoic principle of self-mastery in action, the understanding that true strength comes from within, not from external applause. The Sigma's solitude is his crucible, where he burns away doubt and distraction to emerge as a beacon of purpose. He doesn't chase relationships to fill a void, he enters them as a whole, offering synergy, not dependency. Contrast this with the frantic desperation of those who fear being alone. They cling to relationships like life rafts, mistaking any warm body for salvation. The Sigma sees through this illusion. He knows that a relationship born of neediness is a house built on sand, destined to crumble under the slightest storm. Instead, he waits for a partner who mirrors his own self-sufficiency, someone who brings their own light to the table. This isn't about arrogance or impossible standards. It's about protecting the sanctity of his inner world. The Sigma stays single longer because he refuses to dilute his essence for anyone who can't match his frequency. He's not lonely, he's a lighthouse, standing firm, waiting for a ship that sails under its own power. This choice comes with a cost, but it's one the Sigma pays willingly. Society may whisper that he's too detached, too independent, but he knows better. His solitude is his superpower, a deliberate act of creation that ensures he enters every interaction from a place of strength, not lack. When he chooses a partner, it's not to complete him, he's already whole. It's to amplify a life already rich with purpose. The Sigma male stays single longer because he's not just looking for love. He's seeking a co-creator, a fellow architect who understands the beauty of a life built on deliberate, unshakable solitude. 2. The ruthless economy of standards. The Sigma male doesn't play games with his heart or his time. He operates a ruthless internal economy where authenticity, depth, and emotional integrity are the only currencies that matter. While others barter away their standards for the fleeting comfort of companionship, the Sigma is a master investor, allocating his energy only to connections that promise real returns. He's not swayed by superficial charm or polished facades. His radar for inauthenticity is razor-sharp, cutting through the noise of performative vulnerability or manipulative flattery. Picture a jeweler inspecting a diamond, rejecting anything less than flawless clarity. That's the Sigma, holding every potential partner to the same unrelenting standard he applies to himself. This isn't about being overly picky or unattainable. It's about understanding the devastating cost of emotional compromise. The Sigma has seen the wreckage left by relationships built on half-truths or desperation. Marriages that erode into resentment, partnerships that drain rather than enrich. He refuses to invest in emotional junk bonds, those flashy but flimsy connections that promise much but deliver little. His standards are a fortress, built from the hard-won wisdom of self-respect. To him, settling for less isn't just a mistake, it's a betrayal of the man he's worked tirelessly to become. Every no, he says to a mismatched connection, is a yes to his own dignity. This ruthless discernment can make the Sigma seem intimidating, even unapproachable, to those who thrive on superficial validation. They mistake his clarity for arrogance, his boundaries for coldness. But the Sigma isn't here to coddle egos or play the dating game by society's rules. He knows that true connection requires mutual authenticity, a meeting of minds and souls that doesn't demand either party sacrifice their core. This is stoic wisdom at its finest. The courage to stand firm in your values, even when the world calls you unreasonable. The Sigma's high standards aren't a barrier to love, they're a filter ensuring only the worthy pass through. So, why does he stay single longer? Because the world is awash in counterfeit connections, people chasing fleeting sparks or clinging to relationships out of fear. The Sigma refuses to play that game. He'd rather walk alone with his head high than compromise his essence for a fleeting moment of companionship. His heart is a vault, not a flea market, and he guards it with the ferocity of a man who knows his worth. When he finally invests, it's in a connection that matches his depth, a partnership that doesn't just survive but thrives on mutual respect and unshakable authenticity. 3. Time is an ally, not an enemy. The world screams at men to settle down by a certain age as if solitude is a ticking time bomb. The Sigma male hears none of it. To him, time isn't a predator stalking his youth, it's a vast, fertile landscape where he plants the seeds of his legacy. Every year spent single is a season of growth, a deliberate investment in his character, purpose, and clarity. Picture a farmer tending his fields, knowing that rushing the harvest yields only stunted crops. The Sigma understands that true connection, like fine wine, demands patience to reach its full potency. He doesn't fear the passage of time, he wields it as a tool to sculpt a life of unparalleled strength. This perspective is rooted in stoic wisdom, the understanding that external pressures are illusions, and the only true deadline is the one you set for yourself. While others panic under the weight of social clocks, marriage by 30, kids by 35, the Sigma feels only the steady rhythm of his own evolution. He invests his single years in pursuits that compound his value, mastering his craft, refining his mind, building a legacy that stands independent of any relationship. This isn't about delaying love, it's about ensuring that when love arrives, it enhances an already formidable life, not defines it. The Sigma's patience can bewilder those who equate singlehood with failure. They see his unhurried pace as indecision, his deliberate solitude as stagnation. But nothing could be further from the truth. Every moment he spends alone is a calculated step toward a future of profound alignment. He knows that rushing into a relationship out of fear or societal pressure is like building a house in a storm, it's doomed to collapse. Instead, he lays each brick of his life with intention, creating a foundation strong enough to support a partnership of equals. His time alone isn't wasted, it's a masterclass in self-mastery. This is why the Sigma stays single longer. He's not running from love but preparing for it. He refuses to let society's arbitrary timelines dictate his path. His single years are a strategic deployment of his most precious resource, his life force, toward a future where love isn't a crutch but a catalyst. When he finally chooses a partner, it's not to fill a gap but to amplify a life already rich with purpose. The Sigma's alliance with time ensures that when he builds a relationship, it's not just for a season but for a lifetime. For partnership as co-sovereignty, not conquest. The Sigma male doesn't see relationships as a battlefield to conquer or a void to fill. He envisions them as a meeting of two sovereign entities, each complete, each powerful, choosing to align for mutual growth. Picture two kings, not vying for dominance but forging an alliance of equals, a partnership where neither bends to the other's will, but both amplify the other's strength. This is the Sigma's vision of love, a co-created empire built on mutual respect, shared ambition, and unyielding independence. He has no interest in fixing a broken partner or being someone's savior. His energy is reserved for his own ascent and those who can climb beside him. This approach is pure Stoic wisdom, the recognition that true connection thrives on freedom, not control. The Sigma recoils from the codependent dance of neediness and rescue, where one partner clings and the other suffocates. He seeks a relationship that feels like a treaty between nations, not a colonial takeover. His ideal partner isn't someone who needs him but someone who chooses him, bringing their own fire to the shared hearth. This isn't coldness, it's the highest form of respect, a refusal to diminish either party's sovereignty for the sake of fleeting comfort. The world, however, rarely understands this vision. Many seek partners to complete them, to fill gaps they haven't addressed within themselves. They mistake the Sigma's insistence on mutual independence for detachment or arrogance. But the Sigma knows better. He stays single because finding a partner who embodies this level of self-possession, a woman who stands on her own bedrock, who brings her own light, is rarer than any treasure. He refuses to trade the dignity of his sovereignty for the temporary relief of companionship, no matter how tempting. This is the Sigma's paradox. His commitment to co-sovereignty makes him magnetic yet elusive. He stays single longer because he won't settle for less than a partner who matches his strength, who sees love not as a crutch but as a shared ascent. When he finds her, the result isn't just a relationship but a legacy, a union of two fully realized souls, building something greater than the sum of their parts. The Sigma's singlehood is his patient vigil, waiting for the one who doesn't dim his light but ignites a fire that burns brighter together. 5. Independence misread as indifference, the fatal misinterpretation. The Sigma male's greatest strength, his profound comfort in his own skin, is also his most misunderstood trait. His serene self-containment, his refusal to chase validation, his need for deep focused solitude, these are misread as aloofness, disinterest, or emotional unavailability. Picture a calm lake, its surface still, its depths profound. The world, addicted to the frenzy of modern dating, mistakes this tranquility for coldness, demanding ripples where there's only quiet strength. When he doesn't flood someone's phone with texts, it's not neglect, it's respect for space. When he dives into his work, it's not abandonment, it's devotion to his purpose. Yet, too many misinterpret this as indifference, unable to grasp the language of a man who speaks in presence, not performance. This misunderstanding is a clash of philosophies. The Sigma embodies Stoic wisdom, the belief that true connection doesn't require constant reassurance or performative gestures. He offers depth, not drama, presence, not possessiveness. But in a world fueled by instant gratification and anxiety-driven proofs of love, his calm is jarring. Partners conditioned to equate clinginess with care often feel rejected by his restraint, sabotaging the potential for connection by demanding he conform to their neediness. The Sigma refuses to bend. His independence isn't a wall, it's a foundation, ensuring he enters relationships as a whole man, not a fragment seeking completion. The tragedy lies in how this misinterpretation drives others away. A woman might meet a Sigma and see everything she claims to want, strength, purpose, authenticity, but when he doesn't mirror her need for constant validation, she assumes he's emotionally unavailable. She pushes, he withdraws, and the cycle repeats. The Sigma stays single because few possess the emotional maturity to understand his dialect of devotion, one spoken in actions, integrity, and quiet confidence rather than loud declarations. He won't degrade his strength to fit a mold that suffocates him. This is why the Sigma walks alone longer than most. He refuses to betray his nature for the sake of appeasing someone else's insecurity. His independence is his North Star, guiding him through a world that mistakes his clarity for coldness. When the right partner arrives, one who sees his restraint as respect, his focus as passion, she'll understand that his love is a rare gift, offered not out of need but from a place of profound wholeness. Until then he stays single, unapologetically true to the man he's forged himself to be. 6. Walking away, the ultimate power move. The Sigma male wields a rare and formidable power, the ability to walk away. He can stand face to face with perfection, beauty, intellect, charm, and still feel an inner discord, a subtle misalignment that others might ignore. While most cling to almost right out of fear or societal pressure, you'll never find better. The Sigma steps back without hesitation. Picture a warrior surveying a battlefield, choosing not to fight a losing war. This isn't impulsivity, it's the stoic clarity of a man who knows his worth and refuses to invest in a future built on shaky ground. His ability to detach is his ultimate declaration of self-respect. This power stems from a deep well of self-awareness. The Sigma trusts his intuition, honed through years of reflection and discipline. He can sense when a connection, no matter how dazzling, lacks the depth or alignment he requires. Where others might compromise, seduced by surface-level allure, he applies a ruthless emotional calculus. Almost right is still wrong, and the cost of ignoring that truth is soul erosion. This isn't about chasing perfection but about honoring the integrity of his own path. He'd rather walk alone than tether himself to a relationship that dims his light. The world often misreads this as arrogance or indecision, but it's neither. It's the courage to prioritize long-term peace over short-term comfort, a hallmark of stoic wisdom. The Sigma knows that settling for good enough is a slow poison, eroding his clarity and purpose over time. He's seen the wreckage of relationships built on compromise, bitterness, resentment, regret, and he refuses to add his name to that ledger. His willingness to walk away even from something others would kill for is a testament to his unshakable self-belief. It's not about rejecting love, it's about rejecting anything less than true alignment. This is why the Sigma stays single longer. He's not afraid of loss, he's afraid of losing himself. Every step he takes away from a mismatched connection is a step toward a life of authenticity and purpose. When he finally finds a partner who resonates with his soul, one who matches his clarity and strength, he doesn't just commit, he builds something monumental. Until then, his solitude is his sanctuary, a space where he guards his essence with the ferocity of a man who knows the true cost of compromise. 7. The immunity to social echo chambers. The Sigma male is a fortress against the relentless noise of societal expectations. Why are you still single? Don't be so picky. You need to settle down. These voices, from friends, family, or culture, are nothing but static to him. He doesn't date to appease an audience or fit a script. His internal compass, calibrated to his own truth, guides every decision, unmoved by the clamor of external opinion. Picture a ship cutting through a storm, steady and unswayed, its captain trusting only his own stars. This is the Sigma, answering solely to the tribunal of his own spirit. This immunity is pure stoic wisdom, the understanding that true happiness comes from aligning with your own values, not bending to the world's demands. The Sigma knows that outsourcing his life choices, whether to family expectations or cultural timelines, is a betrayal of his sovereignty. His relationship status isn't a performance for others. It's a deeply personal equation, solved only by his metrics of authenticity and purpose. While others chase partners to silence the noise of "you're not enough," the Sigma's inner quiet drowns out the world's chatter. He doesn't need a relationship to prove his worth, he already knows it. This unshakable independence confounds those who live by external validation. They see his refusal to conform as defiance, his solitude as a flaw. But the Sigma isn't rebelling for rebellion's sake. He's simply staying true to the man he's forged himself to be. He understands that a relationship built to satisfy others, a partner chosen to quiet the naysayers, is a hollow victory, destined to collapse under the weight of inauthenticity. His singlehood is a declaration of freedom, a refusal to let the world dictate his path or his pace. This is why the Sigma stays single longer. He's not swayed by the echo chambers of expectation. He waits for a connection that resonates with his soul, not one that checks society's boxes. His solitude is his rebellion, his proof that he answers to no one but himself. When he finds a partner, it's not to fill a void or silence the critics. It's to amplify a life already rich with purpose. Until then, he walks his path alone, guided by the quiet, powerful signal of his own truth. 8. The mastery of selective vulnerability. The Sigma male isn't emotionally closed off, he's strategically vulnerable. His inner world is a sacred temple, not a public square, and he guards it with the vigilance of a man who knows its worth. Vulnerability to him isn't a performance of trauma or a plea for reassurance. It's a rare and deliberate gift, offered only to those who've earned it through respect, depth, and emotional safety. Picture a vault, its treasures revealed only to those who hold the key. This selective vulnerability is the Sigma's strength. rooted in the Stoic principle that true intimacy is a privilege, not a right. This approach clashes with a world that demands instant openness, where oversharing is mistaken for connection. The Sigma sees through this. He knows that scattering his deepest self like confetti cheapens its value, leaving him exposed to those who haven't proven their worth. His restraint isn't fear, it's wisdom, a refusal to let his inner sanctum be plundered by emotional tourists. Those who expect quick, superficial vulnerability often misread his pacing as coldness, unable to grasp the depth of a man who shares himself only when trust is ironclad. The Sigma's selective vulnerability can be a deal-breaker in modern dating, where many crave constant reassurance or performative displays of emotion. When he doesn't spill his soul on the first date, or when he takes time to assess a partner's character, they assume he's distant. But he's not. He's simply honoring the sanctity of his inner world. This deliberate pace is a filter, weeding out those who seek instant intimacy without earning it. The Sigma stays single because true vulnerability, the kind that builds unbreakable bonds, requires a partner who understands its weight and respects its rarity. This is the Sigma's strength. He shares his heart with the precision of a master craftsman, not the recklessness of a novice. He stays single longer because he refuses to cheapen his vulnerability for the sake of fleeting connection. When he finds a partner who matches his depth, one who values trust over haste, substance over show, he offers a vulnerability that's profound and transformative. Until then, he guards his temple, knowing that only the worthy will ever see its treasures. 9. The rejection of emotional labor exploitation. The Sigma male is a fortress against emotional vampirism. He senses the energy drainers, the chronic complainers, the drama magnets, the validation seekers, from a mile away. He has no patience for relationships that demand he play therapist, ego stroker, or emotional crutch. His energy is a finite and sacred resource, reserved for his mission and genuine connection, not squandered on propping up someone else's unresolved chaos. Picture a warrior conserving his strength for battle, not wasting it on petty skirmishes. This is the Sigma, fiercely protective of his inner reserves. This stance is rooted in Stoic wisdom, the understanding that true connection should be energy neutral or energy generative, never parasitic. The Sigma seeks a partner who arrives with their own emotional toolkit, not someone who expects him to fix their brokenness. He's not selfish, he's pragmatic, knowing that a relationship built on one-sided emotional labor is a ticking time bomb of resentment. He refuses to sign up for a lifetime of managing someone else's drama or soothing their insecurities. His love is a partnership, not a charity. The world often misinterprets this boundary as coldness or lack of empathy. But it's the opposite. The Sigma's refusal to enable dysfunction is a form of respect, for himself and for others. He believes in the potential of those around him to take responsibility for their own emotional health. When he encounters someone who leans too heavily on him for validation or stability, he steps back, not out of cruelty but from a deep understanding of what healthy connection looks like. This clarity makes him a rare and formidable presence in a world that often normalizes emotional exploitation. This is why the Sigma stays single longer. He won't sacrifice his energy to prop up someone else's fragility. He waits for a partner who brings balance, who respects his boundaries as fiercely as he respects theirs. His singlehood is a stand against emotional labor exploitation, a refusal to let his strength be drained by those who haven't done their own work. When he finds a partner who matches his energy, one who builds rather than takes, he creates a connection that's not just sustainable but transformative. 10. The sculptor, not the clay. The Sigma male enters relationships as a finished sculpture, not raw clay waiting to be molded. His identity, values, and passions are bedrock, carved through years of deliberate self-creation. Attempts to reshape him, to make him more outgoing, less focused, or more conventionally romantic, are met with quiet, unyielding resistance. Picture a marble statue, its form complete, unmoved by the chisels of those who would alter it. This is the Sigma, a man who refuses to be anything but himself, no matter how much the world demands he conform. This unwavering authenticity is pure Stoic wisdom, the courage to stand firm in your essence, even when it's misunderstood. The Sigma isn't rigid. He's resolute, knowing that compromising his core for the sake of a relationship is a betrayal of everything he's built. He has no interest in being fixed or becoming someone's project, just as he has no desire to mold a partner into his image. He seeks a relationship of mutual respect, where both parties stand as equals, not as sculptor and clay. This clarity often confounds those who see relationships as a chance to reshape or improve their partner. The world misreads this solidity as inflexibility, assuming the Sigma's refusal to bend is a flaw. But he knows better. A relationship built on changing each other's essence is a house of cards, destined to collapse under the weight of inauthenticity. The Sigma stays single because he refuses to trade his integrity for acceptance. He waits for a partner who sees his strength as an asset, not a challenge, one who loves him not for who he could be but for who he is. His singlehood is a testament to his commitment to authenticity, a refusal to let the world erode the man he sculpted himself to be. This is the Sigma's power. He is the architect of his own identity, and he guards it with the ferocity of a man who knows its worth. He stays single longer because he won't compromise his essence for the sake of fleeting connection. When he finds a partner who respects his solidity, one who stands beside him as an equal, not a sculptor, he builds a relationship that's not just passionate but enduring. Until then, he remains a masterpiece, complete in himself, waiting for someone who sees the beauty in his unyielding form. 11. The long game investor in authentic fire. The Sigma male plays a different game than most, a chess match of patience and discernment while others chase the quick wins of checkers. He knows the spark that sets hearts racing is often just infatuation, a fleeting chemical rush that fades into ash. He seeks an authentic fire, a slow-burning, soul-deep connection built on shared values, mutual respect and unwavering support. Picture a hearth, its embers glowing steadily, warming a home for decades. This is the Sigma's vision of love, not a flash but a flame that endures, forged through time and intention. This long-term perspective is rooted in Stoic wisdom, the understanding that true value lies in what lasts, not what dazzles. The Sigma rejects the instant gratification of superficial connections, knowing they lead to long-term emptiness. His single years are an investment strategy, a deliberate choice to cultivate his own fire, his purpose, clarity and strength, before sharing it with another. He endures the temporary solitude because he's seen the dividends of patience, a partnership that's not just exciting but peaceful, not just passionate but profound. He waits for a connection that doesn't just ignite but sustains. The world often mistakes this patience for pickiness or fear of commitment. But the Sigma isn't afraid, he's strategic. He knows that rushing into a relationship for the sake of having someone is a gamble with terrible odds. Every moment he spends single is a deposit in the bank of his own growth, compounding his ability to recognize and nurture a true connection when it arrives. He's not chasing a fairy tale, he's building a legacy, a partnership that can withstand the tests of time because it's rooted in authenticity and mutual respect. This is why the Sigma stays single longer. He's investing in a forever, not a right now. He waits for a partner who shares his vision of authentic fire, one who brings their own embers ready to build something monumental together. His singlehood is a testament to his faith in the long game, a refusal to settle for fleeting sparks when he knows the power of a flame that never fades. When he finds her, the result isn't just a relationship but a masterpiece, a connection that warms the soul long after the initial spark has burned out. Brothers, you've just uncovered the truth about why Sigma males stay single longer, not out of lack but out of strength, not from fear but from wisdom. Your solitude isn't a prison, it's the forge where you craft a life of unshakable purpose and authenticity. Every moment you choose not to settle, you're not rejecting love, you're honoring the masterpiece you're becoming. Sigma male community is your sanctuary, your guide to navigating a world that fears your independence and misreads your power. Keep building, keep discerning, and know that the right connection will meet you as an equal, ready to create something extraordinary together. If this resonated, hit that like button to spread the truth, drop a comment with your thoughts to join the conversation, and share this video with a brother who needs to hear it. If you're subscribed, turn on notifications to never miss the wisdom we drop here. Sigma male community is your home for growth, stoic living, and unapologetic excellence. Let's keep forging the path together. Until next time, stay strong, stay sovereign, and keep architecting your legacy.